Good morning, everyone. This is Jackie with Paper Cuts, and it's Finish It Friday. But I'm going to do a little what I bought craft items first. I took another visit to the Dollar Tree, and I want to share with you what I found. I got these wonderful craft clamps that come in really handy when you're putting your journals into your books. I got some kind of 3D metal-like stickers for some books that I'm finishing up. This one's coffee and tea stickers. This is for my summertime album that I'm doing, and they look like real fruit, and they have a metallic outline. They're just beautiful. They're puppies, and they come from Crafter Square at the Dollar Tree. And then some more of the metal. This is clocks and keys and zippers and that type of thing, so I thought those would come in handy. I got another one of the chalk writer pens. This one is in white. The other one that I purchased was gold. I found a stencil called Crafter Square, and it has, let me see if I can put a paper behind it so you can really see it. This one, I don't know if that's better or worse, is a suitcase. There's Around the World with an Airplane. It's called a stencil wheel. This one is Good Trip. This one says Travel. A camera. And then a Paris Tower with stars, and it was only $1. So I'm going to add this to my stencils because it would be good for Mixed Media Monday. I found these chalkboard tags in black, and you get 6 tags in each one, so I bought 2 of those, so I have 12 chalkboard tags. I found the double-sided tape, which I usually pay, I get the score tape. I don't know how well this one is, but it usually costs me $6 a roll. This doesn't seem to have as much on it, but it's still a lot. There's 33 feet for $1. So I use a lot of this in my journals and in my mini albums. So we'll give that a shot. I got a scoring tool for embossing or scoring my paper. That was $1. I got these 2 pump spray bottles. I used my, excuse me, my water one for some paint to spray, and it clogged it up and doesn't work for water anymore. So I thought those would be good. I got a small stencil brush. I thought that would be good when I'm stenciling on Mixed Media Monday. And then last but not least, I got these cute little wood cubes. Sometimes I like to put feet on things and that kind of thing, and I thought these cute little square cubes would be perfect. So that was my haul this last time, and I'm very pleased with what I found. I still didn't find all the metal things that Patty from Sacred Mementos found, but we'll keep trying. So today I thought we would work on our family journal that we started on Mixed Media Monday. It's a hardcover. We went ahead and put this quilted triangle on it. We put our ribbon flowers on it. And then we had originally gessoed the whole front. I inked it just a little bit to stain it, but I want this white a little darker. So we're going to work a little bit today with the Distress ink refill colors. I'm going to put some wax paper down, and then we're going to kind of dilute it with water, and then we're going to go over this area a little more. I don't like the stark white with it, and I'd like to try to get it a little more in areas, this burnt orange color, this bluish color, and on the back side there's a little bit of pink. So I thought those would be our colors that we play with today and see how well it goes. So I'm going to get my wax paper and my water spritzers filled up, and then I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. So I got my Distress inks, and I'm using dried marigold. So I'm just going to put a couple drops down. I don't need a whole lot of this because it goes a long way. I'm going to use a little bit of the tumbled glass. That's kind of a light bluish color. And off to the right, it's kind of off camera, is where I'm dabbing it. And then I am also going to use this worn lipstick. So I have an orange, a pink, and a blue. And we'll see how that goes. I'm just going to take my water from my water spritz bottle and spray it. Let's see if we move this over, if you can see my inks a little bit better. How's that? Okay, so now you can see my inks off to the side here. I'm just going to spray them with some water. These are my dollar store water spritz bottles, and they work pretty good. The reason that I'm putting water on it is, one, to dilute it just a little bit when I run my sponge through, and give it a little bit of color. I'm also going to open up my, whoops, sorry, I didn't mean to bump the camera, my thing, and just wet the gesso part a little bit, so that when we apply the ink onto it, it's going to work a little bit better. So I'm going to take a little bit of the burnt orange and put it onto my sponge, and I'm just going to start rubbing it around a little bit. Now, because we already have some of our fabric down, I'm just going to lift up the edges a little bit, and I'm going to go over the whole thing up here and just put a little bit of this orange down. I'm hoping we're gonna not make too big of a mess of this. Now, because it had vintage photo on the matte part to begin with, it's adding the vintage photo to the gesso now, which is okay. I'm going to take a little bit, dab a little bit of this blue now, and as this dries, you'll get to see the colors a little bit better. I wish I had wipe this off a little bit. Let's see if I can get some of the vintage photo coloring out, so that when I should have gotten a new sponge, but I have them all packed away and I'm not really sure where they are. So I'm just dabbing because I don't want it, I want to kind of create a little bit of a marbling look, I guess, along here. And if you go over your fabric a little bit, that's okay. Because as it dries, it'll muddle together. And I hope you can see what I'm trying to achieve here. See, this was the white, this is with the color. So now I'm going to take I'm trying to get my water spritz bottle and just spray my sponge a little bit, and then we'll get a little more of that vintage photo out. I'm using a wet wipe off to the right here, just trying to get it soaked up. Now I'm going to take a little bit of that pink, and we're just going to dab some of that in. And if there's areas that you don't have quite enough color on, you can go back in and add that once your gesso and your ink has dried. So I'll probably heat gun this and off camera, because I hate the sound of that heat gun on camera, and see if we can get it a little better. So I don't know if you can start seeing the different texture in it now, but I can. I hope, you know, when I get all done with it, you'll be able to see what I'm seeing. I'm just not used to doing bright colors, I think, and that's part of my problem. But I'm just going to keep going over until I get the colors in there that I want, and then we'll let that side dry, and then we'll go back to the other side. So I'm just going to let this dry, and now I'm going to work on this back part. That's the thing about the gesso resist. You can stencil on it, you could paint on it, you could watercolor on it, you can do anything once you've covered your canvas. So this time I'm going to start a little bit with the pink, and add that down first. And my challenge is going to be getting it to match the other side. So I'm just dabbing it in, the pink, and then I'm going to take some of this orange and go in with it. Again, don't worry if you get some on your fabric. It won't hurt it any. Now, because I took a lot of the vintage photo off of my sponge, it's not going to be quite as dark and deep as this side, but it will blend nicely, I'm thinking. And if I need to go back in with the vintage photo, I can do that. But I'm just trying to put some colors in. So even though this is Finish It Friday, we're doing a little bit of Mixed Media Monday on here, but that's okay. It's always fun to switch things up a little bit. And I can't forget my spine here. Now see how that has changed the whole look? Some of you may have liked the white better. However, I'm more of a grungy kind of girl, and it was just too white for me. So now I'm going to take a little bit of the vintage photo and work it in so that the two sides match a little bit better. And I'm just going to spray my pad a little bit. You don't have to spray it a lot. It just dilutes your vintage photo a little more. I'm gonna lift this little side here and get in there. Just dabbing it, adding a little more color, a little more depth. And then you can always go back down underneath your lace part and re-glue if you lifted any spots up too much. I'm going to add just a little more blue to the back, and then I think we have it. That's called the blue color is called Tumbled Glass. And if you end up getting it too dark and you need to lighten it, you can always go back over with your gesso and it will cover up some of those dark areas if you're not happy with it. I think I'm much happier now that it's a different color than it was, because I was not really happy with the white. It's too foreign for me. Ooh, got a little more blue down there than I wanted. So I hope everybody's doing well and you're getting some crafting done. The heat has been pretty difficult here. It did cool off a little bit. Not a lot, but a little bit more than it was. So the back is still just a little bit lighter. Not a lot, but just a little bit. So I'm just going to take a little more vintage photo and lay it down. And then we're just going to let it dry and see how it comes out. Oh, I love that. I really, really do. I think it blends a little bit better and softens it a little bit. Ooh, I stuck my finger in it. Uh-oh. Before it was dry. And lifted off a little color. So we'll put a little more blue down. Okay, so there, now it's done. We're going to set that aside, let it dry, and then we'll decide once it's dry if we want to add a little more color or not. So I am going to spray my sponge, take my wet wipe and just clean it off a little bit, so the other colors that I use don't go when I use my vintage photo. Water doesn't hurt your inks, however, it will make them dry out a little bit faster. So you want to be careful you don't put too much water on them. So let's set this aside, and now we're going to I'm gonna make a little flower here with some of the colors that are in the book, and then we're gonna have a flower down here. I just have to decide how bright I want it, but my point in making this flower is to pull out some of the colors that are in our, and this is a polka dotted, let's see, I love that burnt orange color. I think I'm just really drawn to that. And what I'm going to put in the middle of this is a brad, but I forgot to bring them, so hold on a second. Okay, I'm back. So I went and got a little baggie of brads, and I think I like this little green center in there. So what I'm going to do is just take my little flowers, and I'm going to poke a little hole. Some of them had a little hole in it, but not all of them did. And you can use your awl for this, or you can use an X-Acto knife, anything sharp, to just puncture a hole in the middle. So I put my brad in. Now I'm just opening up the back, I guess. And now I'm going to just take my petals and lift them, because I want a little more 3-dimension to my flower. And as you do that, it gives you a little more 3-dimension. So I'm just going around a petal at a time, lifting them up, putting like a little bend in them, and then we'll go all the way through all the layers, and then we'll glue it down onto our book. Now I also have curling tools, but if you don't have curling tools and you want to curl your flower petals a little bit, you can do that with your finger. And that's kind of what I'm doing. I'm just running my finger along the back side and see how it's curled it a little bit. That gives your flowers a little more lifelike. Because on a real flower, like a rose, not every petal is perfect. Some curl up, some curl down. So now I feel like I've got a little more dimension to it. And then let's see how it looks on our book. So now what I'll do is I'll just put some Fabri-Tac glue on that. And I kind of want it into the corner like that. And we'll just glue that down. I think off to the right here, I'd like to put a little something something. I don't know what, but I think I want to put like a little one of these cards. They're like tea cards, and this one too big. Let's see if I have some smaller ones. Some of them are little postcards. They're cigarette cards. There's flashcards in here. Let's see if I can get the smaller ones. I've got two here. See if I can just find a little something. Let's see, I've got a little bird. This is a cigarette card. Let's see. I put it right there. This one's a lighter green. I kind of like that. Not sure. Maybe I should move my flower up a little bit. See if I like that. And then when we put our ribbon on, we can wrap it around here maybe. As a closure. Put it down there. Oh gosh, I don't know. I think I'm gonna put it up here. I know it kind of blends in with the quilted piece. But maybe we can find something else. I have these wonderful calling cards from the old days. Yeah. Making a decision sometimes is difficult, isn't it? You get all of this ephemera and then you can't decide. Can't decide. I just love it all and have a tendency to be a little bit of a hoarder when it comes to this stuff. Oh, that's kind of pretty. I don't know if that really makes it too busy. If I put that calling card in the bottom, you can lift it up, and we could put a little, no, too busy, too busy. I get it, guys. I heard ya. I heard ya. So I think I'm just going to stick with what I had. And I usually like to do things in threes, so I can't really do that with this. So I don't know if we're actually going to finish it up or not. Put that there. Let's try it the other way. Put it that way. All right, well, I'm going to have to think about this. My inks aren't dry yet, so I can't really glue anything down. So that's going to be it for today. I hope you enjoyed watching me work on finishing this. It's not entirely finished, so next week we'll go ahead and put our signatures in and everything, and then by then it will be dried and I will have figured out what I want to do to finish the front. Thanks for watching today, guys, and I hope you have a blessed day and you get your crafting done. Bye now.